The bosses of some of Canada's biggest companies are about to take extreme action. To stay ahead of the game, they're going undercover in their own organizations. This week, we follow the CEO of one of the country's top competitors in the upscale hospitality business. With 1,500 employees, Skyline Hotels and Resorts has become a major player in Canada. And they think they'll succeed where others have failed.
This is one of the most difficult economic times that the hospitality industry has ever gone through. We need to find ways to become more profitable.
CEO Michael Snade has agreed to leave his Lux High life for a dye job and a shovel.
That's hard physical work.
He's used to taking the reins, but that's all about to change.
Okay, go on, guys.
We have like zero respect for you.
He'll find out what's really going on inside his company.
I think I've done this right. Is that acceptable?
No.
And meet the unsung heroes who are helping the company grow. Then he'll summon them to head office and uncover his true identity.
I'm Michael Snade. I'm CEO of Skyline.
They'll be stunned to discover that he's really the boss.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
And lives will never be the same again, because this is Undercover Boss Canada. The world financial meltdown sent the Canadian hotel business into a tailspin. Holiday resorts saw bankruptcy on an unprecedented scale. So Gil Blutrich, founder and president of Skyline Resorts and Hotels, has asked his chief executive officer to go undercover to increase the number of guests and give their bottom line a boost.
My name is Michael Snade. I'm CEO of Skyline International Development. The past few years have been very difficult for the hospitality industry. There are more foreclosures now than I've ever seen in my 29 years in the business.
And Skyline saw this as an opportunity. With a mass of cash, they scooped up 2 million square feet of real estate at a fraction of the original price.
Skyline has a guerrilla style of management. Because we have an in-house hotel and resort group, we're able to go in and turn around their operations and make them profitable.
But doing it better may not be good enough.
Seasonality is a huge challenge for resorts in Canada. They can go from 100% occupancy in the summer to 5% occupancy in the off-season.
They'll have to do a lot more sleepovers if they want to stay in the black.
In these difficult economic times, Skyline has to be more on its game. When I go undercover, and what I need to do is go in there and find where we need to improve operations in order to provide our guests with a better experience. One of the ways we want to keep our resorts full all year round is by appealing to families with our many activities.
Ironically, while Michael's job is about creating a perfect leisure experience for families, he finds it difficult to make time for his own.
One of the downsides of being CEO is that your hours are long. So as a result, I get precious little time with my kids. No. 10.
Oh.
10.
Oh.
My wife's name is Melanie. We met in 1981. I was her waiter. I wasn't a very good waiter.
He brought 2 bad bottles of wine. He brought the wrong bill and had to redo the bill, and so things did go kind of wrong, but I kind of got past that.
The best news is I made a connection with her, and all the rest is history.
He's a friendly guy. He's the type of person people would trust and think maybe they could tell things to. And I think going undercover is going to give him a whole new sort of outlook. So I think he'll be great at it.
His management team has been called to the boardroom for a surprising announcement.
Good morning. Thank you for coming. I wanted to let you know that as of tomorrow, I'm going to be stepping down as your CEO. I'm going to be going undercover at 2 of our resorts to find out what's working and what's not working. As you guys know, this is one of the most difficult economic times that the hospitality industry has ever gone through. So I'm going undercover to see firsthand where we can make improvements and enhance our guest experience in order to become more profitable. So now you know this is why your previously clean-cut CEO is now sporting a beard.
Before Michael heads to the front lines, he'll have to go through a complete transformation. But his 6-year-old has some ideas of his own.
I would have a yellow helmet, the things that you put in your eye, and red makeup.
See what you think.
Are you a little worried? It's Dad. Oh, he's not sure? I could have passed him on the street, and I would not have known that was my husband.
This prince will be living like a pauper while he's on the road, staying in staff quarters on the estates of the luxury resorts he runs.
I have to say that the unknown of being undercover as John is making me somewhat nervous. Huh, doesn't work. Well, that's one thing to fix.
Coming up, how many CEOs does it take to screw in a light bulb?
This is beyond me.
And later, how will the boss take to being microbrew managed?
Is that acceptable?
No.
It was only yesterday that Michael Snade changed his life completely, said goodbye to his family and his job as Chief Executive Officer of Skyline Resorts and Hotels. For the next week, he'll be using the identity of John Chapman, an itinerant worker who's participating in a documentary. Tonight, his journey begins at Deerhurst, a resort Skyline picked up for a bargain last year. Skyline's determined to make it profitable.
Tonight I'm going to go work with the maintenance department. Maintenance is critical. If a property is not maintained, the guests don't come back. Hi. I'm John.
You must be John, eh?
Yeah.
Pleased to meet you, John. I'm Billy.
Hey, Billy. I look forward to working with you.
Michael's working with Billy, a jack-of-all-trades maintenance man who works the night shift.
Hello? I'll go there right away. Okay, so we've got a light bulb problem.
It's outside, right?
Yes.
It may take only one CEO to screw in a light bulb,
Same that you've got.
but will it take more to finish the job?
I don't think I've done this right.
That is tricky.
Is it ever? This is beyond me. Well, that's weird. Oh, you know what we were doing? It's upside down. There you go. There, we solved it. So did you ever get back to Scotland? So, Billy, what brought you to Huntsville?
A marina was for sale. And we thought, well, you know, maybe I can build this boat, you know?
Yes.
But we never did, you know?
No.
We had a fire, we lost everything, so, and there was just too much to recoup. So,
Yeah.
That's life, you know? My problem was only financial, you know? This is the laundry, the ironer that we're supposed to have a look at.
Mm-hmm.
If everything looks good
Pretty peaceful here at night.
and a busy night, it's just a real hectic, you know?
So you've always been the night guy?
Always nights.
And how come? How come?
Well, I had my elderly father,
Yes.
and my mother and my grandmother, and they're
Yes.
all ill. And my wife she wasn't well either, you know. So I needed time to take them to the doctors for appointments. Nights allowed me
Work there?
to do everything and still come into work, you know.
How's your wife now?
Oh, she passed.
I'm sorry to hear that. How long?
9 months.
9 months.
It's tough. So now I've got my mother. I have to look after her through the day. I was lucky in Deerhurst here. They were so good that survived it all, you know, because of that, you know.
I get choked up just thinking of Billy and the hardships he's having to go through. And yet he still comes to work every day with a tremendous positive attitude. I think everybody can learn from that.
My good lady.
Hi, Magic Billy.
Magic Billy, what's that?
That's something that stemmed from Glasgow, back home. But I tell them if I was really magic, I'd be sailing a boat, John. When the wind, you know, cups the sails, it's just magic.
Deerhurst has 400 guest rooms on the 800-acre property. On any given night, Billy takes care of anything from a smoky fireplace to a sound system on the blink.
Get in.
Hi,
Hello.
Maintenance. We're here to look at your fireplace.
Hello.
Okay, see that in here, John?
Yep.
And that's just a damper, and that has to be in line with the chimney.
Yep.
And then we need this. Good job, John. Okay, folks, we've opened the damper. Okay, now you're laughing. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye now.
Have a nice night.
The best part of the job is meeting the people, and the challenge I've seen them change from being grouchy to smiling and being happy. You know, like that's a satisfying job.
301, this is the place.
301, John. Hello, hi, it's Billy from engineering.
Come in.
Let's take a look here.
Billy?
Well, something is definitely missing.
It won't play out of this area.
Oh, for music. Okay, I've got you onto a pay channel for music, and we're going to go and see if we get that fixed. Meanwhile, I'll make sure that's free, okay?
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're
I
welcome.
really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye. Well, that's another task well done, John. Guest satisfaction.
And thinking of giving her that free music, that was a genius move.
You fix it with a smile, that makes all the difference too.
It's extremely important that the maintenance people are as good at customer relations as Billy, because it makes our guests so happy to be at Deerhurst that they want to come back again.
After 8 hours on the night shift, Michael and Billy say goodbye.
This has been a long night. I'm tired, but I feel like I've accomplished something. I learned things from Billy that I wouldn't have learned had he been toting around the CEO all day.
Coming up,
If a guest has a bad meal experience, we may not get them back. We haven't got any drinks yet. My bad.
and later, Michael finds unexpected dividends on his undercover mission.
I've struck gold here.
Yesterday, on his first day undercover, CEO Michael Snade worked a shift he'll never forget.
It's upside down.
He swapped his comfortable home for a Spartan staff room at the inn.
As a new owner of Deerhurst, we want to maximize the guest experience, want to maximize revenues, and maximize bottom line profits. I'm going to be working in the restaurant today. It's the largest single source of revenues outside the rooms division. So it's extremely important. If a guest has a bad meal experience, we may not get them back. I want to get in there and see what's working, what's not, and what we can do better.
Diane's a trained sommelier. She'll be guiding Michael through his duties at Eclipse, the main dining room at Deerhurst.
Hi, I'm John.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
You are going to do some training with me tonight.
Yes, I'm really excited.
Good. Well, let's get started. So tonight we have a bunch of Christmas parties in here. Most of the groups are on buffet.
That's easy for us.
Not ours.
Oh.
Sorry. One of the jobs we have to do is we have to place our cutlery.
Okay.
So I'm a little kind of anal when it comes to table setup.
Yeah.
So I like to make sure that they're actually in line and, you know, everything's looks good. So the spoon, right,
Yes.
goes that way, and the fork will go on top the other way.
Oh, the other
Yes.
way. Oh,
I'd like you to finish off these tables.
I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Michael attempts to rise to Diane's exacting standards.
I don't remember taking this much care when I was 20 doing this job.
Or this much time. Will he be ready for the hungry diners when they arrive?
So I'll leave that with you. We'll just decide on.
Oh, am I doing it wrong?
I just don't think anyone's sitting there right now.
I can pick those up.
Now that the tables are set and unset, Diane and Michael fuel up before the dinner guests descend.
What can I make you?
Tell me about the other places you were a server.
The one I did the most at was at the Four Seasons Hotel.
How does Deerhurst measure up?
I think there's definitely room for improvement.
Yeah, always. So what would you improve?
I think sometimes the staff just get thrown into positions that they're not really trained for. You know, I've been wanting to do a seminar on how to open a bottle of wine at the table. It takes 10 minutes, and
Yeah.
we really need to make that a priority.
I'm really impressed with Diane. One of the great ideas that Diane came up with is teaching all of the servers the proper technique for opening wine at the table. What I don't think's great is that they're being put on the floor without proper training.
John, can you pour a beer for me?
Yes, I can do that.
Cream ale.
Is that acceptable?
No, you gotta put a little bit of foam on the top.
foam, okay.
There's no time for a course in Beer 101 now that the guests are being seated.
So I just go up and I ask them.
You're gonna go up to the table. I
Yeah, I'll introduce
Good
myself.
evening.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to take your order for dinner. We have some red and white wine.
All right, no problem. I'm on.
You're
But
on.
will Michael's
All right.
false bravado carry him through?
Good evening. My name is John. I'll be your server this evening.
Thank you.
May I take your order? We haven't got any drinks yet. Okay. Well, my bad. It's a good question. Let me go see.
At last, Diane gets a chance to share some of her wine expertise. And the secret CEO gets a private lesson.
So when you actually open a bottle of wine, when you get to the top, you wiggle it out. Because it's never supposed to go pop, and there I go. And when you're pouring the wine to the guest, you make sure that they can see the label when you pour.
All right.
This is some of the training stuff that I'd really like to do. You pour from the right, serve from the right, pick up from the right here, right?
Right.
Right.
This is stressful. Okay. That's the first time I've done that in 30 years. And it wasn't easy.
If John was to work in our restaurant, I think he just needs to work a little bit more on his self-confidence.
I don't have a corkscrew.
Maybe he's not ready for eclipse.
That was stressful.
After the busy dinner rush, Diane and Michael take a much-needed break.
So, have you had an interesting night?
It has been. Good. Yeah, I'm a bit tired.
Yeah?
Oh, okay. Oh, there, I'm creaking. Ooh. It's interesting to see somebody with such a great attitude.
Yeah?
And seems to love her work and her craft so much.
It's taken me a while to get here, so I've had some things happen in my life that have probably made me a little bit more laid back than a lot of other people. So when 6 months into my marriage, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor.
Oh, so were they able to fix it for you?
For the most part, but it's kind of changed my attitude on life. So
sure.
It was a kind of a wake-up call. If I don't make it, my family, they're really going to miss me. I won't care because I'm not going to be around to know any different. But my heart was aching for them. So when I take care of people here, it's because I think of what's happened to me in the past. It's important for me to leave people happy.
Diane bounced back from the brink of death, basically. And she is inspirational. I'm coming away with a real sense of satisfaction that we've got a great team in that Eclipse restaurant. But I've also got some good ideas to look into.
Coming up, Michael might be a trailblazer in the business he runs, but no new ground's being covered here.
Step up, boys.
Zero respect for you.
And later, big concerns bog down rentals at the ski hill. Michael Snade, CEO of Skyline International Developments, has gone undercover to shine a light on how the company might better succeed. But his staff have no idea he's the boss.
I think I've done this right. This is beyond me.
Today, Michael is visiting Deerhurst Stable, which offers guests trail rides, a petting zoo, and dog sledding.
One of our plans is to come up with more activities for our families to do in the winter months. We want to have people here all year long to make money all year long. Animals are a huge draw for families. When we bought Deerhurst, we also bought a horse stable.
He'll be joining Shaney, who owns the horses and runs the stable for Deerhurst.
Hi.
Hi there.
I'm John.
Oh, hey, John. I said you were coming.
I'm really excited. I've never worked in a stable before.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. How are you with getting dirty?
I don't mind getting dirty.
So come on down here, we'll show you how to clean the stalls. I pride myself in how clean we keep our barn. Please don't be offended if I do it again after you've done it.
Okay.
So if you shake it up against the wall,
Yes.
then you're going to find the poop. It's going to come out. There's some
Oh,
there,
there.
and then it goes onto the gator.
Oh, so if you're really good at this, how long does it take?
Probably about 15 minutes to stall it.
All right, let me try.
Alrighty. It's a feel that you've got to get.
This is harder than I thought it was going to be. It's hard to separate the dry from the wet. I think it'll probably take me an hour to do this. I feel like I'm really slow.
And 15 minutes later, Michael's nowhere near finished.
John could certainly improve on the speed that he does his chores. That's something that all new staff members have to pick up the pace.
It's very hard work. I haven't done manual effort like this in an awfully long time. I'm building up a sweat.
How are you out, John?
Here, look at this. That's the mother load right there.
Wow, that's awesome. But you can put it in here.
Oh, right.
Maybe we'll back it off a bit, and we're gonna put you on something that's a little simpler.
There's no time for Michael's mucking about. It looks like Shaney will be cleaning the stalls herself.
So let's get you on the watering. We're not lucky enough to have an automatic watering system for the horses, so you get to do it all by hand. We make sure that every day we take the buckets out and then put fresh water in. So here's your water,
Yep.
and fill it up. An hour and a half a day is watering time.
This is major effort.
So there's 17 more.
17 buckets later leaves the horses refreshed, but Michael, not so much.
Cleaning the stalls is majorly tough work. A big part of the time that it takes to care for the horses would be completely alleviated if she had an automatic watering system.
The horses are watered, and it's time for them to do some chores. But first, they must be harnessed for the work ahead.
Think you can get it over, and I'll help
Well, I'll
pull?
try. I'll try.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah. Slide it all back. And
Yeah.
see how it all just kind of watch out.
But how did you know that was coming?
Because he lifted his tail.
There's something I'm going to remember for the future.
There we go.
Right.
Jim's harnessed.
Michael's been learning everything there is to know about animal husbandry. Now he's got to learn how to make them go.
I'm gonna let you steer.
Okay.
So it's just a little.
Okay. Okay. Get going, guys.
No, that's your paw.
Way you go, guys.
Step up.
Step up.
Zero respect for you. Get mad.
Okay. Boys, step up. Come on, boys. Step up. Step in.
Jim, there. You know, walking. Are we good on this side?
Every horse gets a bale of hay delivered daily, which means Shaney feeds the horses 120 times a week.
Whoa. Whoa. Are you all right?
I got her.
All righty, we're good to go. Hay's out. Oh, yeah.
It's really important to bring families up to Deerhurst year-round, and a great way to make that happen is right here in the stables.
Well, John, let's get warm up by the fire.
This is really pretty countryside, particularly with the sunset. The trick is getting the guests to come year-round.
Year-round, yeah.
You've got so many different activities. So is the resort doing a lot to help market your programs?
We'd love to see more of a weekend package thing. Like, people can stay at the resort and enjoy the luxury of the resort, but spend all day at the stables learning about the animals, like basically what you did today. And if we're offering something unique like that here, it's going to bring people up to them as well. So it works for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good idea.
So, are you warm?
I am.
Well, day at the farm, complete.
It was a lot of fun.
With the chores all done, Michael's third day undercover comes to an end.
Hi, hon.
Oh, hi. How's it going?
Oh, good. I had a really good day today. Actually, it's tiring. It's hard work. It's hard to pretend I'm John Chapman and not to be able to say, listen, I'm the CEO and I think I can help you. It's been great at Deerhurst. One of the reasons I came here was to make the resort more profitable. And I've seen a number of ways that we can do that. Well, I really miss you guys. And I love you. Okay, bye, honey.
Coming up, Michael has problems handling the inventory.
That's something that has to be fixed. I need that yellow form.
And later, there's no business like snow business. Yesterday, the man at the top of Skyline, Michael Snade, was scraping the bottom on cleanup duty in the horse stables at Deerhurst Resort.
Here, look at this. That's the mother load right there.
Wow, that's awesome.
But now that he's finished mucking out, Michael's on his way to investigate the ski shop operations at their ski hill resort.
Skiing is our #1 revenue generator for Horseshoe Resort. And a big part of that is our rental program. I grew up at Horseshoe. I started teaching as an instructor when I was 15, right into my 30s. So it really is like home.
He'll be trying to master the ins and outs of rentals with new manager Corey.
Hi, my name's John Chapman.
How are you,
Nice
man?
to meet you. Great.
Good to meet you,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Come on in.
So I'm here to work.
Good man. We'll get you all set up here.
Okay.
All right, John, so let's
Yeah.
go. I'll give you a quick run through of the whole room.
I've never seen it where the guests get to walk through where all the equipment is.
Yeah, we just did that change this year, actually. The old setup. And it was taking 2-3 hours for them to get through the whole shop, you know?
Oh, that's awful.
Now
Yeah.
we're pumping them through in less than half an hour.
There's still a lot of stock here. So where are all the skiers today? It's a beautiful.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm hoping they come.
Yeah.
So they'll get through the boot section here.
Yeah.
Then they're going to wheel through and pick a ski tech.
Now it may
Ski
be-
techs fit customers with the correct ski, boot, and binding combinations.
The DIN here is the inside number here, and this is what allows the ski to release if a person falls.
Right.
Bindings keep the boots attached to the skis. The DIN number sets how securely they stay fastened and is determined by the skier's weight and skill level.
Yeah, and if a person tears their leg off and it's a 70-pound kid on a DIN that's a 5, right, that's the technician's fault.
There's definitely pressure standing behind that desk because if that young person falls and that binding doesn't release because I had it on too tight, that's something that I would feel terrible about. So you've got to get it right.
So the very last thing you do is initial it. So then you pull off the yellow form that the customer's going to have. You give that to them, hand them the ski, and they're on their way.
It's a lot to take in, but Corey quickly hands it off to Michael.
I'm going to get you to size up the next customer.
But these days, they're few and far between in the ski shop.
I'm very concerned that it's almost noon on a Saturday and 80 or 90% of our inventory is still in the shop here.
It's plus degrees in January out there, so we're not used to it.
It's an indication that skiers don't think the snow is good. It's a problem because we make all of our money during the winter season here.
But the few lucky skiers that have come are going to get the slopes to themselves. That is, if Michael can figure out things on his end.
Step on up.
Oh, wait, I haven't done this yet. 324, so I do 324.
He's not quite getting his bearings with the bindings, and customers are still waiting.
So we're done.
The
Great.
last part is the din.
Is the din.
First, we got to find 324.
324, so I'm a 4.
Perfect.
Okay. Serving the public was tense. Had there been a big lineup of people, I would have been a big bottleneck.
Thank you. All right.
Have fun with your board.
John could improve just when he's setting up skis. He's got to get himself into a little bit of a system because he was kind of forgetting to fill out the yellow form or switch the ski to fit the boot.
But moments after the last skier is out the door, the whole process begins again in reverse.
We're just getting busy. We're going to do some returns here. The customer's going to come in. They're going to have all their stuff
Right.
bundled up.
Yeah.
So you're going to take the skis, just put them here for the time being. The last thing you grab is the yellow form. We'll bring the yellow form over to here.
Right.
We'll look if it's Julian's form. So we'll grab Julian out of here.
Yeah.
And we put Julian in the back.
I see.
Okay?
Corey leaves Michael as point man with the returning skiers.
Great. Did you have a nice day? Let me take these from you. You have that yellow form. There we go. Perfect.
But not completely perfect.
I need that yellow form. Good. Okay, the first with a yellow. How's that? Just head around the corner, and there we go. The hardest part about handling the returns is definitely that paperwork. That's something that has to be fixed. Oh, thank you. These people coming
It's
in,
awesome,
they're all
man.
having a great time.
It is.
Yeah.
We're going to be out there soon enough, man.
Oh, is it our turn?
It's
sir?
getting close. One of the best parts of the day is obviously I get to throw on the skis and just unwind with a few runs. You can't really beat it.
The hardest part about today was seeing that we had perfect weather and yet the customers weren't coming out to go skiing. But it's great working in the rental shop and then finishing it up on the slopes. Couldn't be any better than this.
Coming up, the secret CEO digs himself out of trouble, but falls down on the job.
That's hard physical work.
And later, the staff Michael worked with are called to Skyline's head office for the surprise of their lives.
I'm Michael Snade. I'm CEO of Skyline.
Oh, my goodness.
CEO Michael Snade has been serving and shoveling, letting it out and reining it in. During his week pretending to be John Chapman, a participant in a documentary about the Canadian workforce.
Oh, you knew that was coming.
The secret head honcho is about to spend his final day undercover trying to make it snow.
Without snow, we can't ski. I'm going to spend the day with the guys in the snowmaking and grooming department to hear their ideas on how we can make the snow more effectively.
Michael will be shadowing Jim, who has run the snowmaking plant since retiring from a suit-and-tie career in the city.
Hi, I'm here to see Jim.
Hi, that would be me.
Oh, great.
Hey, good
I'm
morning.
John.
John, good
Yeah,
morning.
nice
Welcome
to
to
meet you.
They're heading up the mountain to check on the progress of the snowblowing guns on the slopes. The map has more than 80 different snowmaking sites, which Jim and his team must constantly track and evaluate.
Snowmaking. Basically what we're doing is shooting water and air out at very high pressure, creating snow. What we're going to do is to reposition the gun. This is air.
Yes.
This is water. So I'm just going to get you to work this till it closes.
Okay.
All the way.
All the way.
Okay. So the
I'll
guns
follow
are
you.
shut off now.
Once they've created enough snow for a section of the hill, there's the job of aiming the gun in a new direction.
So I'm going to lift up.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have you pull this pin.
Okay.
Okay? Got to lift it up a bit. Okay, there you go. And there it is. Swing it around this way so that we can position it. So now start walking back towards me up the gun until I say okay. Keep going. Right there. Now we're going to hook it up again. Clamper shut. Okay, so now do the same with the air. And I'll let you turn it on. Start slowly opening up your water. Look at it coming out. So that's a nice mist that's coming out. In snowmaking, and when we're going at full tilt, we're pumping over 2,000 gallons a minute, roughly 980,000 gallons a shift.
Yes.
And of course, we're running literally nonstop if we can, depending on conditions.
It's so important to get that snow on the ground.
Absolutely.
Early in the season.
You've only got a brief window of opportunity to do so.
So, how come you can't cover all the hills with snowmaking?
You do it in stages so that eventually you do cover all the elements.
Right.
And there's only so many guns that a crew can maintain in an 8-hour period.
I see. Oh, Jim's a terrific guy. Very, very positive. Really knows his stuff. A great teacher. You can see he's a real asset to the organization.
So we're just going to walk over now and just take a look at this alien gun.
The alien? Okay.
But what I wanted you to get a little bit of a feel for is the sled that it's on, which gives us the maneuverability to position these guns wherever we need them.
Yeah.
And as you can see, they do get buried. So that's where you're going to have to start digging.
Jim leaves Michael to dig himself out of this one. And it's harder than it looks.
That's hard. Physical work.
Digging guns out has to be done 20 to 30 times a shift. That's a lot of snow.
I didn't realize what physical work snowmaking really is. I don't think I could do it full time.
Hey, how you making out?
Hi, Jim.
Hey, looks like you got it.
I'll tell you.
The main point is you've got the sled free.
Right.
After a full day of snowmaking, Jim and Michael are finished on the hill.
Jim, how did you get into this business?
Basically, I responded to a job fair a few years back. Next thing you know, I was operating snowmaking and enjoyed it very much.
What did you do before?
I was involved in charity administration for a good number of years.
Were you
and,
really? Wow, so you decided to really change your career.
Certainly have no regrets about it. It's been wonderful.
What do you do after work?
Photography, bird watching, and there's so many beautiful lakes. It's a lot of fun. It's just a beautiful part of the world.
Yeah.
So. Well, John, I know it's been a long day, but my shift is over, so that means your shift is over.
Well, Jim, thank you very much. You've been
Thank
a great
you.
teacher. Snowmaking's a crucial part of our business because with warmer weather, you have to make as much snow as you can on those days that are cold. This experience has given me some great ideas to take back and discuss with my executive team. But more importantly is it makes me appreciate all of the staff members within the organization.
Coming up, how will Billy, Diane, Cheney, Corey, and Jim react when they discover that John Chapman is in fact their boss?
Well,
I had no idea.
Now that his time undercover is complete, CEO Michael Snade has jettisoned the faux hawk and beard.
I'm glad I went undercover. It's not often that you get to meet people who have lived through such interesting and, in some cases, difficult lives. That definitely has changed me. You realize that as long as you have a positive attitude, things will turn out all right in the end.
He's ready to check in at Skyline's head office.
Hey. Hello, everybody. Did you miss me? Yes. Overall, I'm happy to report the resorts are really doing well. Of course, there's always places we can improve. First, we have some excellent employees with unique skills and great ideas. I'd like to find a way to tap into those special skills that those employees have. Second, I got several ideas from a number of the colleagues on how we can extend our busy seasons. Going undercover was such a valuable experience. I thought I took my job seriously. Our colleagues really raised the bar.
The people Michael worked with are anxious to know why HQ has requested their presence. But something quite unexpected and incredible is about to happen.
whose office is this?
Hi.
Jim?
Hi.
Yeah?
I'm looking hard. Could it be?
I'm Michael Snade. I'm CEO of Skyline.
Oh, my goodness.
I had no idea.
Well,
How did I do at mucking out?
honestly, it's a little slow.
Well, Shani, I went undercover to hear firsthand how to enhance our guest experience and improve our operations. Your passion for horses is infectious. And one idea you had was let's host family weekends. We're going to get on that right away.
Fabulous. That's a great idea. What was my idea?
It was I hated hauling that water in the big bucket. And so I'd like to sit down with you and let's pick out an automatic watering system.
Wow, that's exciting. It's very exciting.
And because you're working so hard all the time, as a special thanks, we'd like to host you and your husband as VIP guests at the Cosmopolitan Hotel. And we'd just like you guys to have a great time.
Wow. That will be an amazing weekend for
Oh,
us.
great.
We'll love that.
Right now, I am feeling pretty excited. Looks like a lot of great changes for my company. So a weekend away with my husband is going to be just fabulous. And for us to spend some quality time together is going to be a real unique experience.
Jim, I have to say, right off, I was really impressed with you and your team.
Well, thank you.
We have to find a way to get snow on as many hills as possible, as quickly as possible. So if you agree, I'd like you to sit on a special task force that will look into how we can improve Horseshoe's snowmaking capacity.
Sure, I'd be happy to.
Sit on that?
Absolutely.
Good.
Sure.
You mentioned that wildlife photography is a special hobby of yours.
Yes.
So as a thank you for your commitment to Horseshoe, I'd like to send you to Algonquin Park for a wildlife photography course.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And I'd like to get you the best equipment possible. So
That's wonderful. I am in total shock. I'm absolutely amazed and thrilled, all kinds of emotions going on. The reward I'm going to absolutely enjoy the most, of course, is the Algonquin adventure trip.
Corey, what I didn't tell you is I taught skiing for 16 years part-time at Horseshoe.
Okay.
And all that time didn't prepare me for working in your shop. What I was surprised to see is that we have you using a paper system for taking care of all the rentals.
Yes.
What Skyline would like to do is institute an electronic barcode system as soon as possible.
Oh, wow. That's exactly what we need, yeah.
And I noticed when we were skiing together that your skis and boots maybe could use an updating, because Skyline would like to buy you top-of-the-line equipment.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you very much.
And I look forward to coming back and skiing with you many times.
Thank you very much. Well, the whole experience has been pretty amazing. I think the electronic return system is going to be amazing. It's going to be exciting to get on some new skis. It's been a while, and I'm looking forward to it, big time.
Diane, your passion, your enthusiasm, there was something really to behold.
Thank you.
You deserve all the thanks. You really know wine, and it was great to see. You also suggested that we should set up some wine training.
Mm-hmm.
But I think before we set up this wine training, we should set up a new position. I'd like you to be our chief Deerhurst sommelier.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think that's great.
And a chief sommelier really needs to see the wine being made. So what I'd like to do is a special thank you is to send you to Napa Valley for a week.
Okay. That's amazing. Geez, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Diane, it was a pleasure working with you.
I feel honored that Skyline has recognized me, and the position of Chief Deerhurst Sommelier is something that I'm going to do with great pride. And a week in Napa Valley, life can't get better than that.
Billy, you're an inspiration for everybody who works at Deerhurst and at Skyline. I was really touched by you telling me all the hardship that you've gone through in your life and how recently your wife passed away. And yet you still have such a positive outlook on life.
Thanks.
And you told me that your special dream is to be able to sail again.
Maybe my next life.
Well, Skyline would like to buy that sailboat for you, Billy.
Oh, my goodness.
Just for you. Billy, a boat needs a name, and if you let us, I'd like to name the boat after your late wife, Barbara, and also the marina.
Awesome. Right now I'm feeling overwhelmed. Everything is just incredible, just magic. It means everything to me to go sailing, because as long as I'm on the boat, I'm healing, just fabulous.